We live. It says we live.
Welcome to another episode of Soul Filling, where you get your soul fed. I'm Tiffany,
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Kobe.
and today we're talking about what we're leaving in 2020 and what we're bringing into 2021. So get your pencils, your pads ready, and get ready to write down what you bringing in and what you leaving in 2021. Oh, wait, I said that wrong. Get ready to write down what you leaving in 2020 and bring it into 2021. So get real with yourself because this is the only way it's going to work. I'm gonna need to know the truth. I'm gonna need to know some honesty, and I'm just going to need to know the real dang thing. We gotta dive deep in order to have real change. But the first question I have for you guys and for my soul sisters, Jasmine and Kobe here, is in one word, how would you describe your 2020? Say if it was a chapter of a book. Should be the title of the book or should be a chapter of a book? I feel like it should be the whole book, right? 2020.
Say a chapter. I'll say a chapter. This is a chapter.
Okay, a chapter. A chapter.
Oh gosh. I would say this was like changes, like big transition. I don't know. That's one. I'm trying to think of one word. Transition. I was gonna say transition.
Ooh, so why you say
That's
transition?
good.
Because like I mean, with COVID, with me being pregnant, like it was just all a huge transition that had to happen. And we all had to make adjustments. And it was just like, how are you gonna make everything work within your transition? And I've just been grateful and thankful that medical bills were paid. We got a new apartment. We have a baby on the way. Just the way we've been able to handle all of these changes and these transitions is just beautiful. And I'm grateful and thankful because, it couldn't have gone any better in my mind. Like it really couldn't have.
I love that so much. Definitely.
Me too. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm kind of piggybacking Kobe a little bit here because I'm just thinking. I was trying to find one word, and I'm gonna go back to steal something from one of our old podcasts. I'm gonna call it a blessdemic. That's the only word that keeps standing out to me in my mind. Like it's just been so many blessings, so many blessings, transformation. This was the year my mom got her house in June. Something that I had worked so hard for 2 years straight. This was a year that I decided to take a leap on myself, and I'll tell y'all a little bit about that in 2021. But it's just my family. Thank God for my immediate family's health. Like through all of this, through all of the numbers of, the statistics of people that have been affected by this, like I can honestly say my immediate family, we are great. And so I'm just like thinking about all of the blessings. I'm trying to focus on the blessings. This has been a huge transformative year financially for Jarvis and myself in ways like never before. So it's been blessed. How about you? How would you describe it too?
Oh, I thought I was on mute, but I wasn't. But the word that comes to my mind is awakening, and so I feel like it's for the world. We're like awakening on. I don't want to say we, but the world kind of caught up, like awakening on Black Lives Matter. What's really going on, not just inside of our own little world, but what's going on in the lives of others. So I think it was awakening on that base. And then so awakening for me personally, because it's just like, with the new job I have, they've totally have made me think of things so different. My mindset shift is so crazy right now. Like I just feel like we could do anything in this world. And so it was awakening of my own power. It was awakening of what my own self limitations are. And my self imposed limited beliefs I have. And though I'm awakened and I'm woke and I'm looking around, now it's like time to get out of bed and start taking action on that behalf. And that's exactly what I want to bring into 2021. It's like, okay, you say, okay, you woke, and I hate that word now but you wake and you woke, but what you gonna do about it? You gonna just stay in bed? You know how, you wake up, you like, it's definitely 5 and I definitely need to get up, but I'm gonna just stay in bed a little longer. I get up at 7, but I'm trying to wake up at 5. I'm trying to get to work. I'm trying to get this paper. I'm trying to get this love. I'm trying to live a dreamy life. So awakening for me, a whole awakening for me. All right, guys. So soulmates, let us know what your one word is for 2020. And at the end of the podcast, be thinking about the word for 2021. But before we get into what we want to let go of, I need y'all to do us a favor and make sure that you are subscribed to us in whatever you're listening in, whether that's Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Go ahead, subscribe so you are notified every time that we release an episode, which is every Tuesday. We here, spilling our heart out. And so we want to build connection and we want to be family. We soulmates. Okay. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. All right, guys, you ready to get into it? Y'all ready to get into that nitty gritty?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, let's get it.
First question is, what are you letting go of? Okay, Jasmine, Kobe, you should ask this question because I feel like I'm saying it wrong. What are we letting go of in 2020?
What are we leaving in 2020?
What are we leaving in 2020? Y'all, I'm over here hurting myself. Who wants to go first? Should we do one thing at a time and bounce back? Okay, what's your first thing? What's your first thing?
I'm leaving self-doubt in 2020, okay? Because that self-doubt has prevented me from, showing up as who I truly am, trying different things, doing different things, exploring myself, exploring this world. So yeah, we leaving that behind. We leaving that in 2020. We're going to expand. We just had this last episode talking about reliancy and relying on ourselves to do things. So I'm going to rely on myself. I'm going to trust myself, and I'm going to, do the damn thing.
You are my favorite quote, and I do not know who it is, but I'll coin it. It says, "Doubt your doubts before you doubt yourself." Yes. So it's like, when you start doubting yourself, you're like, oh, look, that doubt, that don't sound right to me. I doubt that doubt. Well, I doubt myself anytime. Okay. But that's how about you, Jack?
That's a good one. That's a real good one. That's one of mine as well. But I'm gonna go with, I'm leaving behind this mentality of scarcity, and this is kind of a twofold one. A scarcity mentality, meaning that I feel like there's not enough to go around. And so much so to the point, I was in sports. And so in sports, you always taught to like compete, having this super competitive nature. Like you want to be the first person, or in class, you want to be the line leader, or whatever the case may be. And I'm leaving behind, I still want to do really, really well and strive, but I feel like when you have this mentality that there's not enough, it it creates the inability to be able to collaborate, to be able to work together with people, because you feel like if I share information with you, you gonna take it and you gonna beat me and be number one or whatever the case may be. But it's really more than enough for everybody to be number one in their own respective field, even if we are doing the same thing. Like it's still very possible for you to shine at your particular thing that you're doing, even if it is the exact same thing that I'm doing. And so I'm learning with this new journey that I'm venturing into. The only way you're going to go, like the famous quote says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you got to go with a group. So I'm leaving behind that competitiveness competitiveness to a fault, to the point where you can't collab. So that's one thing I'm leaving behind.
I really like that. And I just want to add to that also the fear of not being enough as well, because you talked about, there not being enough, but also with that, sometimes we don't think that we are even enough, that we are worthy of stepping up to that plate, or being in that group, collabing in that group, or being sitting at that table, right?
Yes.
So we bringing in self-worth in 2021. Okay.
Oh, come on. Yes. Like that is huge, because I think the reason why we feel like we got to compete is so that we can feel like we can get on this level, so that we are worthy. But if we already know and have that self of knowing that we are enough, then we already feel like we're meant to be at this table. We have the qualifications and all of the accolades to be here. We are worthy. Oh, I like that spin. Yes.
And Jazz, like what you said kind of like sprung up something into me that I kind of be like, kind of keep on the low. Like I don't be telling everybody this, but I share it on Soul Filling podcast. I don't know what it is about Soul Filling that makes me spill my heart out. But, and I know this wasn't your thing, but for me, it's one of the things I want to leave behind is jealousy. And when you were talking about like being competitive and stuff like that, I think that's something that I talk about it on here a lot, but that's something that I want to say, like, sometimes I get jealous and I don't like that feeling. And I know it's from an insecurity, like I was talking about work, because I feel like I should be way further along than I think I should be.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh no, if this person passes me up, what does that say about me? And so I really have to check that. Why do I feel this way? Why don't I want to give this information? And when I do feel that, I do force myself to like give that information to like let the person out. But I really don't want to. I don't want to be jealous of anyone. And I want to move forward, and like you were saying, collectively, because like you said, why not work together? There's abundance for all of us. Just because someone else is winning does not mean that you can't win too. And I think for me, like I'm not jealous of like, I get jealous more so of people that are in the same field as me, I guess. And so, but if it's like someone's doing something totally different, I'm like, oh yeah, you got, but when it comes to like, oh, you doing this and I'm doing this too, it's like, who gonna win though? Who gonna be at the top? But it shouldn't be like that. It could be, and what I really like is I listen to this podcast called Content Queens, and these are two influencers, Vic Styles and Kia. I don't know her last name. It's great. It's great for influencers who are trying to like be better at influencing or whatever. But I just saw how like they came together. They have two complete not opposite followings, but like one has more followers than the other, but that doesn't stop them from collaborating because they're just getting it together. And I just think like that's something I really want to work on, is like, I don't want to feel that jealousy anymore. I want to be so more secure within myself to say, so what? Let's do this together. Even if we're not doing it together, like, I just don't like that feeling anymore. So, I mean, I never did.
That's real.
It's really tough to, like, sometimes it feels tough to combat.
Man, I think it's part of, well, I can't say it's part of everybody human nature, but I do think it's a lot more common than what people care to give credit to, because I love how transparent you are, Tiff, like for real, because actually the me putting not being competitive and collaborative, that was just a cute way of me saying not like, if I kid you not, I literally wrote down envy. I was like, I ain't trying to, just say it like this. So let me just find a more political correct way to say it. But it's real. It's a real emotion. And what made me think about it is, so I have a mentor and he's like coaching us, and he pretty much do all the things that we want to do. And he like giving us the game, like giving you all kind of gems, like showing you his website, like telling you names to put that he put. And I'm like, why are you telling all this? We could be your competition in like 5 years or a year from now. Like, why are you telling? And he was just like, I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to do this. Like, this is more. I'm like, and then I meet someone 2 days ago and they've been in the business for 5 years, and he's just like giving me everything. I'm like, why are you so nice? Like, why are you giving me all your 5 years of work just like so freely? I'm like so confused. I'm like really confused. I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you being so nice? Why are you like, what? And I'm doing the same thing. And you're taught like, these are your competitors. These are the people that could be, potentially buying the same properties you're looking at in the same markets you're looking for. And so I'm just like, it made me really pull back and sit there and like think. And I'm just like, why? And I was like, because this is how you build trust. This is how you build relationship. This is how, just because you were so nice and kind to give, share your knowledge with me. Now I'm thinking, how can I repay this person back? Maybe it may not be tomorrow. It may not be next month. It may not even be next year, but I'm thinking like, whether it's something that they're not even thinking about, I might send them a lead. Now I'm like, okay, or maybe I might get a real estate attorney, and I'm like, oh, they were really good for me. Let me see if they work for you or something like that. And I'm just like, and I'm even thinking like, what ways can I help Tiff, or what ways can I help Kobe, like out with certain things, just because y'all always been there for me. And I'm just like, we have to get out of this envious mindset. And I love how Tiff says, like, even when I do feel that, I force myself to give the information, because you never know how it's changing someone's life, helping them further their selves. And we always have to remember that we are all uniquely different, no matter what. Even if you do give somebody the full blueprint to how you do your stuff, they could never do it like you. Even if Beyonce just wrote all her songs and gave them to SZA, she would never be able to sing them like Beyonce, and vice versa. And so it's just like, we all killing the game in our own individuality, and that's what makes it so beautiful. And so we don't really have to envy. I think envy is an illusion that we create in ourselves, but it's really way more to go out. And I just feel, I'm so glad Tiffany said this so I can say it now. But I was totally thinking like, what's a better way to say envy in a more cuter way than just saying jealousy or envy? But it's real. That's exactly where I was coming from when I was like scarce mindset and not trying to compete and really sharing information.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, that is, and I'm glad that we said it, because then I think more people could talk about it and feel better about how to fix it and be solution based. And I was listening to this episode with Anthony O'Neill and Lecrae last night, and they were just talking about being a collective, how we are a collective, brothers and sisters in Christ. But like, I don't care whether you believe in Jesus or not. Like, the world is a collective. We are all part of the same body. And if one thing is hurting in our body, one person is hurting in our body, then we need to fix that. We are there to help each other. If I'm the pinky finger and I'm messed up over here, but this hand is like, I don't feel anything. No, you need to send help to help fix that. And I feel like if we think of each other as a collective more than as individuals, we'll be more apt to help each other, because that's how people are really getting far. These brand strategists who are they are coming together. These people who are buying properties, real estate, like they are coming together. They're building bigger things. These entrepreneurs, like they are coming together. And because there is so much abundance, one day, you know, you might have something. I don't want to put out what you're doing, but you might have something and you don't have the capacity to handle it, or it might not be something you want to do, but you know it's a good move for someone else. So you say, hey, there's this going on right now, I'm focused on this, but you should definitely do this, you know, and the same people are going to look out for you, same industry, same everything. And just look out for each other, because why not? All of us have a dreamy life. Why not? Right. So I'm so glad we brought that up. All right, guys, what else are we leaving in 2020? Because obviously, envy got to go.
Yes. First, I just want to say, you know, shout out to Alexandra L on Instagram. This topic came from her. And one of her things was waiting for tomorrow. And so I'm like, yes, that one, waiting. We're going to leave that in 2020. We're going to be more present. And in every aspect, like I know a lot of times things happen and I'm like, I'm going to wait to like tell that person, you know, how I feel, or, you know, tell them, you know, how they could, you know, it's just things that happen and you kind of like in the moment, you don't want to say something because you don't want to offend that person, or, you know, hurt their feelings, or you just don't know quite how to say it. But I don't know, like, that's really something that I don't want to do anymore. I don't want to wait to tell people how I feel, how they made me feel. I don't want to wait on my dreams, you know, my goals, or wait on me to commit or to start, you know, working on my dreams and my goals. I want to be present and really keep those promises to myself and really make things happen.
Oh, girl, I love that, because I feel like because we wait so much, it breeds anxiety. I know that for me, like, because between the time you're waiting and the time you actually do something is where the anxiety or the worry really festers. That's where all the crazy thoughts come to your head, all the doubt streams in. What he gonna think? What's she gonna think? How is this gonna make her feel? Instead of just really doing it and seeing, I was just gonna go. And most of the time, it's probably gonna be better than you expected, because the makeup in our mind is retarded. I don't. Oh, that's not a bad word. Ridiculous. But you know, so it's just like, yeah, like
right. I love that you said that, because it's like during that waiting piece, like Tish said, we're creating a whole other reality that's probably far, far from the truth. I don't know about y'all, but I sometimes when I'm waiting to tell somebody something, or waiting to start something, thinking that it's going to be hard or difficult, or whatever the case is. And it's just like, when you actually do tell that person or do that thing, it's so much easier than what we have set out in our minds. Like, or it becomes way more fun and exciting, or it just becomes like, you know, why didn't I do this earlier? Why didn't I do this sooner? So definitely, I can definitely attest to waiting. And it kind of makes me think about one with mine, just time management. Like my mentor, Mike Fritz, he said, when in order to really become successful, to get over that hump, he said every single successful person is super, and he said it like this, anal about their time. They're anal, like they are obsessed with their time. And I was just thinking about that because, like, in spite of the money that we all think that we're striving for, or the the titles or the achievements, time is one of those things that we will never get back. We will never get back time. It's so precious. It's like you could be doing anything at that moment, like anything. Like you could be playing with your family, you could be reading, you could be doing anything, cooking, anything, working out. But it's like your time, how are you using that time? How are you valuing that time? Are you like wasting large quantities of time? Or and I don't even and this is what people, when people hear the word, and this is what I would think when I say people, when I hear people that are so like anal and meticulous about their time, I would think like, well, that's a boring life because they don't ever have time to do anything fun. And so, but even that is like, what did he say? He said, even the time that you carve out, that's what he said, carving out your time with family time or just relaxation time, that is even in it itself precious because you have you were intentional about creating that time for those things. So during those times where you have time, where you've carved out time to wind down, really engulf in that moment. But what tends to happen, people, we end up, we don't even carve out the time. We don't add in our lives the time to relax. So when we do relax, we feeling guilty about it, right? Mm-hmm. And then the time, and then, or we can pack our schedule so much so with so much work that we feel, what is the word that he said? Basically, I don't remember what he said, but basically it's like we can add so much stuff in our life that we feel, it's like we don't even give ourselves that freedom to relax or we'll relax so much so that we don't even give ourselves time to actually be productive. So is the thing I'm trying to say here is we have to make sure we're balancing our time and we're very, very aware and we're being very intentional with our time. Because I never thought about the fact that, you know, I thought about it, but I didn't really think about it, like how precious time really, really is. And it isn't, you don't really notice until you look back. Like that video that Tiff sent me, all those, you know, adventures and trips and podcasts at Silver Street Studios and just us going to different engagements and just having a good time. And it's just like life is shifting, it's constantly changing. So just be very, very value your time. That's all I'm saying.
I love that so much. And like with y'all saying about waiting and time, it makes me just think about just being proactive. For me, something I want to leave behind is, which is like, I don't know if it's kind of something I'm bringing into 2021, but leaving in 2022. And I'll explain that more later. But it's just like being proactive. Some things are going to come to you easily, and I pray that they all do. But there's other things like, you know, for Soul Filling Podcast, it's like, oh yeah, one day someone's just gonna see us. someone's gonna shout us out and we'll be there. But we have to put out the things that are going to get us there. We have to reach out to the people. We have to, you know, there's different things that we could do on our end that will make it more likely for people to see us. And so instead of just, okay, yeah, we're going to be consistent, which is a huge thing. Now that we got that down packed, it's like, okay, I want to be more proactive in making things happen for us and for myself, instead of waiting and seeing like, okay, when somebody gonna see, no, like make them see, like, this is valuable, this is needed, I am valuable, I am needed, I am impactful. And so no more like just taking things, like like it's time to take life into my own hands. And so yeah, being proactive is something I'm bringing into 2021, starting in 2020. But just sitting back, we leaving that in 2020 for sure.
Girl, yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
so good.
So another one of mine, and that kind of goes into the same thing, is avoidance. And it basically goes into the same thing Kobe was saying, but I'm a big avoider of things that are awkward, and I probably just make them awkward in my own head. Things that I need to do, like setting doctor's appointments, people I need to talk to, things I need. It's just I avoid doing the things that I don't want to do. But there's like stuff that you don't want to do is stuff that you have to do to get to the next level. And we always hear that saying, eat the frog first. Do the things you don't want to do first, but have to get done. And I don't want to avoid things anymore. I want to be better at like just doing the things that need to be done when they need to be done. Y'all know this personally, like me responding back to messages is just not my strong point yet. But just because it's not my strong point doesn't mean that, I can't start practicing or being better with just doing things then just when they need to be done, and stop avoiding stupid stuff like, and just do it. Because most of the time it's very little. But even if it is big, like I don't want to avoid things. I want to be courageous enough and brave enough and self-assured enough to just go in and do what I need to do. So we're leaving avoidance behind in 2020. Have y'all gone through all the things y'all are leaving behind in 2020?
No, I have a few more. Guys, you have something?
Yeah, I have some too. You can go ahead and go. I'll go after you.
Keep going in.
I'm leaving behind like old perspective. I don't know what to call it, but I just know that my perspective is changing around, time and planning, routines and priorities. And it's, largely due to having expecting a child, and transitioning into, parenthood. So I'm just leaving like that old perspective behind, that my, I'll say selfishness, we'll just call it, just that perspective or that mentality of being about just me and myself and what's best for Jasmine. Because now I have to ask the question of, how will this affect my child? Because I know at the end of the day, when I used to do stuff, in 2020 and in the past, it was like, oh, I can recover, I can bounce back, or, I'll make it through, I can splurge on this right now. And, I know I get paid in the next few days or, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But now I can't do things like that because I have to think about, this child and how, my spending is going to affect that child, how my lifestyle is going to affect that child, how I, go about just doing, my day-to-day things. So yes, growth, perspective, yes, it's changing.
I'm excited for that. Like,
that's so beautiful.
For all the gems you're gonna have to drop on us with what you're gonna learn from motherhood, because like
Yes.
I just feel like it's just gonna be so beautiful. Y'all be knowing. I be looking at old pictures of Kobe and me, and I just be like, "That's my girl. She about to have a whole baby."
Man. Me too. I was thinking about that when you sent the video. I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my gosh!" Like,
wow.
You're gonna be a great mom.
So much has happened in a year.
He is so blessed to call you mama.
For real.
Thank you.
Just had a moment, y'all. We had to have a little moment. So, no, I wanted to piggyback though, because that's so beautiful. I think from listening to you speak, it's like like Tiff was saying earlier, the shift. It's like you are coming into a new awakening, a new shift, and a beautiful new shift. Beautiful, beautiful new shift.
Yes, thank you.
But I did want to, I guess this is a little side note. Well, no, I'll say that for later. Um, I'll go ahead and give one of my, another thing I want to leave behind. So another thing that I'm going to leave behind is confusion. And it made me think like, because, and the way, so confusion is kind of twofold. So it goes into, so when I'm dealing with people or situations or let's say it could be a business relationship, it could be a potential client, it could be relationship, it could be whatever. If I feel so confused and flustered and like I'm just not understanding, I want to take it to the Bible verse that God is not a God of confusion. And so if I'm feeling so confused as eh, as to, I guess, well, so when I wrote this down, I was thinking of like life, like personal life, like being confused about what I wanted to do in life or how I wanted to go about, day-to-day things. And I was like, I just feel confused. Like, I don't know why. I knew part of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to operate. But then at the same token, I was just like, okay, I'm confused on how to execute it. So I feel like the way to combat this or to mellow this out is to be clear and be concise. And so I'm just working to make things clear and make things concise. Like, even if I am working with you and I feel confused, finding a way to center it, to make it everything we saying, like, okay, you may have just rambled for like 20 minutes. Maybe I even rambled for like 20 minutes, but like bringing it all together so that it's clear and concise. And even with my day, like if I feel like things are jumbled up and I just need to get like some direction, I need to bring it all together and bring some clarity to my day, because I just felt like, Leo, you want to be on the podcast? I just feel like, I was going at one point in 2020, I was like, I'm doing good financially, I'm doing all these things, but I'm still just very, very confused. I'm helping my family. I'm like, but what am I supposed to be doing? Like, God, like send me a sign. And so I'm like, I want to let go of this whole confusing aspect of life. Not saying that, as you're learning new things, you won't be confused at times, but I'm trying to let that go as much as possible. As much as possible. So confusion is one for me.
I like that a lot because that kind of this is funny because this is gonna be so stupid. Like this is gonna be a whole different route. But like confusion for me, like confusion in relationships. Every time I'm confused in a relationship or something like that, or confused or whether if a guy likes me or not, I think I'm finally learning my lesson. You gotta learn a lesson like a couple good times to understand, like, if a guy is confused about you, then that ain't the guy for you. Like, and let that confusion go and say, oh, okay, you're confused. Let me move on. Like, or this could be in any aspect, like, oh, you're confused. I don't need anyone to be confused about me. God's not confused about me. My mom's not confused about me. My brother's not. Y'all ain't confused about me. So I don't need no one confused about me. Because if you are, I need to be secure, and I need someone to be secure about me. So one of the things that I'm like really working on is because like sometimes when you like someone, you want to like, hey, do you like me? Like, what's the deal? Like, you're trying to put all these signs together, like, oh, he did this, he did that, he looks at me like this. But if you have to do all that, if you don't know for sure, I'm learning like, it's okay to just let that go and let that be what it is. Because 21, why? Just why? Why?
Yeah.
That's
Well, both
good.
of you are saying, for me, it is staying stuck. So that confusion is staying stuck for me. We talked about that in, you know, some previous podcasts about getting unstuck. And then what you're saying, Tiff, it also reminds me of that settling too, staying stuck and settling, because a lot of times we stay in situations and we allow certain things, and we're settling for that behavior, we're settling for that confusion, we're settling for that limbo-ness, whatever, you know, that back and forth. So we leaving that in 2020. We're not staying stuck and we're not settling. Okay, we getting what we getting our worth.
Look, been tested a few times, but I think I've been
You been get straight A's.
I've seen this before. I'm going to exit stage left.
Right.
I'm not in your
place. That's what's up. That's good. That's real good.
It is settling. You shouldn't settle for confusion. You shouldn't settle for nothing. Like, I was listening to this Black Love video, and they were just saying, like, they're like, what's the prayer, sis? Because she was like with this guy and they like love each other. They're traveling the world or whatever. Like, what's the prayer, sis? And she was like, I just prayed that God gives me everything I deserve. So think about, and I know deserve is a weird word because some people don't think that they deserve all this amazingness, but you do. And knowing y'all do. Y'all deserve the best. Knowing our soulmates, y'all do deserve. So like, we deserve the best. We don't deserve to live a lackluster life, and that's not the life God wants for us. He wants a life of abundance. Come on, he didn't come down here for no reason. A life of abundance, and I don't think people understand that that is for them, but it is. It is for you. So,
yes. I wanted to elaborate on that because that is so true, and I think the more you are clear about what you want and who you are, it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to see what you deserve and know what you deserve, so that you aren't settling for a long period of time. Like you said, you've been tested. Like, yeah, we gonna get tested out here. It's inevitable. Like, think about a gold coin. I love to use this analogy. If you've seen a gold coin on the ground, no matter if you wealthy or if you quote unquote don't deserve it, you still gonna pick it up. So you are more than gold. You are beyond gold. So you're gonna attract some lower vibrational people and some high vibrational people. But it's up to you to know, like, okay, I'm not settling for this. I don't deserve this. So let me, move around. Let me pass this test. And so I was thinking that we just have to understand our worth, guys, because it even happens in business. I'm thinking from a business aspect. Like, you will have people try to present you things and try to sell you things and try to, whether it's a program or whatever the case may be. And this is where I really got confusion from. Okay, let me just be authentic real quick. So I was I was in the process of getting some mentorship, and one mentorship program was very, very substantial amount of money. And then I found a discount from somebody else, and I was like, oh, this no brainer. You've been doing it for around the same time that this person's been doing it. And, why not just go with the cheaper price? But then that's where sometimes the cheaper is not always better, because that's staying and you get what you pay for, right? And so as I went to kind of do the initial interview, I was kind of hearing in my mind, like, oh yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. But then the one that I had to pay more for, I wasn't confused. Let me just say that they had everything like mapped out to the T. It was an overview. I knew what I would be learning, when I would be learning. Each lesson had and so going back to the other person, I was like, all right, so can I get an overview of what I'm expected to learn by this time, and just so I can have an idea of what I'm going to be investing in, what I'm going to be paying you for. oh no, and they just started listing things. I was like, but can I get something in writing? Can I get a program? Can I get a pamphlet? Can I get a brochure? Can I get something tangible? And they had nothing that was tangible. And so I was like, I'm a little confused because, that's when my discernment kicked in. And I think even if you're going on a date, this person could be selling you all, I'm gonna be this to you, I like you, sending you a good morning text tomorrow, but not doing it for the whole rest of the week or whatever the case may be, have you feeling a little confused. And I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna invest my hard-earned money, whether it's a less expensive price, I still want to know that I'm getting, a good solid foundation. And then that made me even think about myself. I'm like, oh, now in the future, if I'm ever going to pitch something to someone, I need to make sure I'm structured. I need to make sure I have my stuff together where I can leave some things tangible, having things people are going to be looking for. I just put myself in the other person's shoes, and I was just like, okay, I don't want to breed confusion. I want to be clear. I want to be concise. I want to, give the thing I'm asking for. And so when just keep that in mind when we're looking for people or looking for relationships or looking for any type of business partnership, any ship at all. Just make sure that they are not confusing you and you don't settle just because something sounds good.
I love that, because I definitely, oh, that's my mom. I definitely heard that from a business entrepreneurial position, like being on the other end of that, because there's been times like I've been confused about my own offers and stuff like that. So that's a really tangible thing to take. I'll always say like give them a guide or something, but that also goes back to like being clear on your goals that you have, and the goals for your business, and what do you want to offer, because like a lot of times, like you might be good at a lot of things or you might be okay at some things. And so what are the things that you enjoy doing and things that you're good at producing results in, and how can you package that into a business, and how can you write that off? And and so that's something that he gonna have to learn. But like moving forward, it's just like, I don't know, that's something I needed to hear. It because you were confused about him, but he's confused about him too. And so like sometimes in my own businesses, I'm like, okay, all right, I need a concise, I need to know what I offer. I need to know what I know that I'm good. I know things, but I need to package it in the way that I like, and I need to package it in a way that I like doing those things. Because I could do all these things, but if I don't like doing it, or if I don't produce results, that's something I shouldn't be offering. And so it's something.
And people, no, and people are okay with you not offering everything, because the person that I went with, he doesn't offer everything, but the fact that he had something detailed and it was I feel like I can, because I'm a teacher. So I'm like thinking of a lesson plan minded. I'm like, okay, I need an overview. I want to know the objective. What will I know by the end of this course? What will I understand? But he was just telling me everything, and he had really amazing knowledge. I'm not going to take anything away from this person. He was very talented, very skilled. And in fact, we had a better personal relationship. I could actually see us being friends. Like, oh, you cool. But the other person had a more professional relationship. And I was like, for my business, where I'm trying to go, I need this structure. Even though you're really, really cool and on, I think we would connect, and it has nothing against you. And I'll probably still hit you up and probably send you business your way and all that good stuff. But if it was just a lot more structured, then I would have went with you no brainer, just because of that connection. But since this person had the structure, that professionalism, I was like, okay, you look like you got it together. I mean, and based on what I see, is packaged and it's very formal. And I was like, oh, I need to adapt this same business model to the things that I do as well. Like you said.
I just love that. It's just like a learning on every aspect. And now that we talked about like what we're leaving in 2020, I think this is a good way to talk about what we're bringing into 2021, because that is one of those things I want to bring in. And we talk about this so much, is systems. And so for me, systems is for me, like in my own business, of having like a website, like photography, for example. You know, right now people, they DM me, they hit me up on my phone, like, which is totally fine. But like for people I don't know, you know, I need to have some set structure. Like if we're doing a studio session, they need to know that that's an extra fee, like that's an extra $100 because we have to pay for the studio. I need to have time slots, so I'm not just like, oh, when are we doing this, or when are we doing that. If I really want to excel in photography, I need to have my packages. Like, what are my packages? I don't know right now. I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't know. But that's something I need to like put down in writing, put on my website, make it easier for them to select the day, select the time slot, know my availability, know what package they're selecting. You get these 12 edits. You're gonna have this by this time. That way I could structure my time to know, you know, when I have time to do stuff. Because, you know, if you're all taking these different opportunities, you don't know how much you think you know how much time you have to do something, but you just don't. And so I just feel like putting systems in place and really organizing and knowing, and this isn't any business or whatever you want to do, and knowing what you, just make it make sense for yourself. Just make it easier for yourself. That's all I'm trying to say. I want to bring in that organization, that planning, those systems, so I can make making money easy.
Girl, you hit it on the head. Like that's one of those things I too am bringing into 2020 because it's so important, y'all. And I was just having a conversation on the phone last night with my brother Dominique, and we were like, this was our whole conversation, like literally going about talking about systems, because all those systems, they take quite a long time to create. We over here saying create a system, like it's not something you're gonna make in by the next day, by tomorrow. It's not gonna be done. But like you said, it will make your business so much easier. I know, because the one thing we kept getting hung up on the conversation, he's like, if I do all that work, I'm gonna want to charge people $1,000 or $2,000 or $4,000. And I was just like, you know what, you're right. And I was like, but let's not think about it so much so solely for the money off the rip. Because think about it, you are actually making it easier on yourself. This is actually alleviating pressure off of you. Like, it's like, think about it. How many times have we found ourselves doing something in our business and we had to do it all over again, that same exact way, and it took twice as long. And even Kobe, like the way she says, like the reason why I can reach out to sponsors so much faster now is because she's created templates, she's created systems like of how to reach out to people. And so it's just like, if we sit there and we take out the time while we already have to do it for a client anyway, or already have to do it for a person anyway, and just model that same thing, it's like we kind of be overworking ourselves, working ourselves harder, even though we already doing the work in the first place. So like, as you doing that work, you could be pulling from the work you already doing, and that's creating the system essentially. And then just setting it to the side and be like, okay, now this is going to be what I do all the time across the board for this. Or if you need invoices to make it more professional versus saying, send it to me on Cash App or Zelle, like, or like, it's no, seriously. And I was just, and my mentor was the person that really put these things in my mind, because I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking from a small business owner, not from a big business, Fortune 500 company mindset. And that's really like what I'm bringing into 2020 is shifting my mindset. And the way you shift your mindset is by creating those systems where you're not feeling like where you have to do everything all the time, but creating systems so that it's like automatically being done for you. Now, of course, you're gonna have to put in a little bit of work, but after things are up and running, but it's to the point where I forget what book I was reading when they said this, but it was saying that is your business so much so to the point where if you went on a vacation for a full 6 months, that you would come back and you will find that your business is not doing what you said it should be doing, but it would be doing better. And I was like, dang, like levels, goals. I need to get there. And last little caveat, and I'm leaving. Oh, well, I'm not leaving, but I'm wrap this little segment up. But Tiff, you brought me back into my Bob Proctor days. Like, so I've been on my man hard again. So it was this one thing that he said in one of his speeches on how to shift your paradigm.
We lost her.
Oh no, she left. Okay, well that's okay. When she come back, we'll be ready for her. But
she's talking about shifting paradigms.
Yeah, she's talking about shifting paradigms. I don't know what she's about to say about that, but I got something for y'all. Oh, she's coming back. It's cool. Okay, I was about to in on your point, Jazzy.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'll just bring it in. Well, this was the last thing I was gonna say. Somebody wanted to call in Blackie's blessings. So no, but Bob Proctor basically just said, so there's this book and it's called Future Shock. And in the book Future Shock by Alvin Toffler, I think, he talks about the whole spiel that Bob Proctor was saying was how to shift our mindsets into making our yearly income in a month's time. So making your yearly income each month. I was like, ooh, I need to get there. And so he said that the biggest thing in this book that Adam Toffler wrote, he said that the fact of being illiterate in the 21st century will not be those that can't read and write. It's going to be those who can't unlearn and relearn things that they need to shift their mindset. And so the systems things, that's something that's going to shift your mindset versus you feeling like you have to do everything, but creating that automatic system that will, put your business on auto so we can really be some CEOs in here instead of being employees for our own company all our life. But yeah.
Right. No, that's good. That's it right there. That is and with how you're saying, like Dominique was like, I'm gonna need to charge more. Yes, you do. There's this this is so good because I was literally talking with someone and they were saying like, yes, okay, I'm gonna read this post on Instagram. Hopefully I could find it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so, okay, this is what it says. It says, this is the caption. It says, so when someone says you charge that much, that's ridiculous. You could take a deep breath and confidently say, yes, I do. Who's with me? And then there was this one lady who said something that really stuck out to me. She said, let me see if I can find it. But basically she was just saying like, she said, yes, the time we spend learning and upscaling the skills and much sleepless nights to spend in planning and learning, not to mention the subscription tools, we bet we deserve the best because we give the best. A lot of people don't know that with something that you have that it takes all of these different things. They don't know with the podcast that we have to wake up early, we have to come up with the topic, we have to write a description, we have to upload to YouTube, we have to edit the podcast, we have to market ourselves, we have to put in captions, all these things. They don't know that. So they're thinking, what? You just uploaded some audio, you're good. They don't know what really goes into it. But when you know your value, other people are going to know your value. So yeah, you can say, yeah, that's how much I charge. Okay. So, and then let that go. And if let that person go, because that person is not your ideal customer. You want your ideal customer. People, like you said, like, I know Jazz spent like $500 on a course. People are going to pay the price because they're looking for exactly what you need. Okay, so it's just like, yes, when you put these systems into place, you're going to be able to charge more because you did more work. and the value that you give, the product that you give is worth it. And that's something I'm bringing in to 2021. Yo, okay, because what I've been doing, and this is okay because this is what makes me happy. It's a learning process in everything. You're learning and you're evolving. So yes, in 2020, I undercharged myself, undervalued myself. But in 2021, I'm not doing that because now it was such a burden on me, didn't have enough time. You don't even want to do the best quality work when you feel like you're underpaid. And so now, if you're getting paid more, you're able to release some responsibilities. So in 2021, I want to hire help. So I need to be paid more so I can alleviate some duties. So we can have those systems in place. So 2021, I am valuing myself more. I'm getting paid more. Okay. because this. We look at our, me. I was looking at myself. Okay, so you have a company, right? You have a company, like you were saying, you're not an employee of the company. A lot of people are running companies. They're companies like they're a freelancer, when really you're a company. So if you're a company, you need to be paid as a company. That means you have employees, you have systems. So you're gonna need more money to pay them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
When you're a freelancer, you're just getting paid an employee salary.
Right. You're like a contractor. Like you get paid for the little temporary work that you do at that time. And then it's like you go on. But that's not passive income. That's active income. You got to work hard for that. You got to work hard. And I'm not trying to work hard. I'm trying to work smart. And it is so possible, y'all. But we've been conditioned to thinking the only way we can earn large quantities of money is if we work hard. But you can create these systems. And I'm about to get on. I'm gonna spin on topic because it was something that you said, Tiff, earlier that I really wanted to touch on. How you read the Instagram post and they say you charge that and people raise their eyebrows, and you know that is not the customer for you, because you think $500 is a lot. I'm not even gonna tell y'all. Just know it's in the thousands what my mentor actually charged for like a 10-week class. And
talk about it.
And granted, like I said, I've been interviewing other people, but it's like when you really put out that structure, and it's like he didn't budge and be like, actually, I'll come down and you could pay this amount. Like, no, you stand firm on your price because you know what you have to offer. And then on top of that, guys, he let me go. And not let me go, but he let me go to think about it. And, I'm, looking and searching, and I'm like, something in me is still pulling me towards spending all this damn money. I'm just like, okay, but because I'm thinking for the long run, I'm like, if you already have these systems in place, you already have them. And like Kevin True says, who do you listen to? You listen to people that already have what you want. If you want to be successful, you model the people that are already making the money you have. And if you can, even get advice or get mentorship from, or apprenticeship, that's what he calls it, from the people that you want. And so when people, you go off and let them go, and they come across other people and they see that they don't have it structured the way you have your stuff taken care of, or if let's say they end up going with a cheaper or a less expensive option from your product, somehow they'll most likely find themselves back to you spending the money coming off of buying the quality over the quantity. And if that makes sense. Like, we're investing in ourselves. And so when you're making that investment in yourself, do you want to make a mediocre investment? And I'm not saying like, okay, and let me get this straight, because I'm not telling everybody that they got to drop $1 million if that's not where you are yet. And me and Tiff was talking about this the other day, yesterday on the phone. Like, you also want to make sure you are mentally prepared for what you're about to receive, because you don't want to drop no $10,000, $5,000 on no course and you're not even mentally there. It's just sitting over there collecting dust. You ain't looked at it, you ain't read it, you ain't touched it. We got a course like that right now that I ain't touched, but it's just like, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, are you a trailblazer for this knowledge? Are you really serious about this? Is this something you're going to invest your hard earned, whether you about to go back to college, whether you about to take another class, whether you about to get a certification, whether you about to try to get a trade, whether you just about to get a course on YouTube or whatever the case may be, are you really going to be engulfed and immersed into that information to where you're going to get the money's worth out of it, where you're going to get all that it has? Because they can bring you to the water, but they can't make you take action on what they're teaching you. They can't make you drink it. So you have to really be honest with yourself, evaluate yourself. And if you're not ready, that's okay. That's why, like Tiff said, they may not be the person, they may not be ready for the material that you have to offer. Maybe it is too expensive for you. And I love, because my mentor, although his course cost all this money, it cost way more than $5,000. $5,000 was just another course I bought from him. But he actually interviews people, and this is where I thought it was like profound. He interviews you to see if he's even gonna let you buy his course, because he's like, I don't want you to waste my time. Like, even you can pay all this money. He like, I could just take your money, but I need to make sure you are even ready to be put under, to undergo what I'm about to give you. So I need to interview you to make sure you're qualified for my course. And then if I feel like, based off our initial interview, that I can take you in, then I will even accept. I'm like, dang, so I can't even just pay you my money. And you.
That's what we do at the company I work for. We interview them to even see if they're even financially stable to be able to pay, if they're in the right mindset. Because what we always teach is like we were talking about earlier, you create the course, you create the program, whatever you create, and you put all into it. But that person has to, they could have the course, they could have the notes, but if they don't implement it, then it's not going to work for them. So that's what we're talking about, is being mentally prepared to know that this is going to take some time to understand, to implement. And so, are you prepared? If not, what do you have to do to get yourself prepared? And that's another thing I want to bring into 2020. And y'all could also tell me, I feel like I'm talking so much, but 2020 is investing in myself. You know, y'all know I'm a real, I'm the one that be saving the money. I'm real frugal, but investing in myself, and that comes with time too. So like, I want to be better at, I want to know more about how to be better at taking pictures. Like, I want to know more about how to be better at running social media. I want to be better at lighting and videography and things of that nature. But I have to invest into the equipment. I have to invest into, if there's any courses I need to take. I need to invest in different programs that I might need to, applications I need to use to make pictures look better, or scheduling better, you know. So it's just like, you have to also invest in yourself, and that comes with, you know, you just have to, because you don't want to charge a lot and you suck.
Yeah, no. Everything y'all said just made me think about, you know, something that I'm bringing into 2021. And that is, you know, like I mentioned before, those priorities and that shift in that. And something Jazz said, you know, she was talking about spending $1,000, spending this money on a program. And it's like, you're going to spend that money either way, right? It's all about priorities. You're going to spend that $1,000 on shoes, clothes, food, happy hour, you know, hair, nails, all of that. Or you can spend that $1,000 on something that's going to benefit you. You're going to spend 30 minutes watching that episode, you know, catching up on your TV shows, or are you going to spend that 30 minutes, you know, writing that blog post, or, you know, editing, you know, working on what, you know what I'm saying? You know, whatever that is, you know, working on your business.
Girl,
right? You know, you're going to spend that 30 minutes with your kids, or you're going to, you know, spend it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your time? You can spend that 30 minutes at the gym, or you can spend that 30 minutes scrolling through Instagram.
Sis, you did not have to come for me like this. Real too.
I'm coming for myself. I'm coming for myself too. Girl. So it's all about Priorities. Okay, what are your priorities? What are your goals? And then making sure your actions line up with that, making sure your money is lining up with that.
Oh, and that's on period. Okay.
Period. You know what that made me just think of? There's this saying that says, I forgot what book this was too. My books just starting to merge together now. I just feel like I read one big book, but it talked about how so there's this guy and he's trying to get better at his golf game, right? And he invests every year. He talks about how he invests in the most expensive golf clubs that he can find, like thousands and thousands of dollars in golf clubs. He got the golf gear on. He got the name brand, this and the cap and the shoes and whatever, all this. He just looking real. Like if you see him, you look at him like, oh, he about to test stuff up on this golf. He about to Tiger Woods out here. Get on the golf court. He like, what's happening here? Like, what is this? But then he says, like, if he would have spent those same thousands of dollars each year on golf lessons, on the information to build that skill set, then you really probably would be a lot further in your game. So like Kobe just said, you're going to spend the money anyway. Why not investing in yourself? That's something I'm taking. I'm going to be fearless in investing in myself. If I'm going to spend the money on stuff that I don't really need in times, and or save it and it's just going to sit there and collect dust because I like to look at my money. But why not put that money to work on me? Why not put that money to work on my future? And it not saying spend all your money on, like, still we being smart out here, but putting a good amount of money for your personal development, for your growth. Because it's like we spent all this money at college for school to get this degree, but school doesn't stop there. It don't stop at college. It doesn't stop. You still have to invest in knowledge each day, every way. Every time you want to get to a new level, you might have to spend a little money to get to think of this as a semester in school, a class that you enrolling in.
Oh, this is good. I talk about my company a lot. They are really good, but their messaging is so good. But one of the things that they always say is like, what you did to get where you're at is not going to get you. It's not going to be the same thing you have to do to get to the next level. So yeah, you're gonna continue doing the same thing and in some miraculously way get you to where you want to be. Nah, sis, you got to this step. Now you need to start changing, doing something else so you could get to the next level.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And I'm taking that same kind of route with y'all talking about investing with healing. So we bring in healing into 2021. And I am investing in my mental health and some therapy and that neutral, feedback, because baby, we need it. We need it. We have to do the work to heal. We have to take that time to heal. And it's like you said, what you did in the past ain't gonna work.
Thank you for saying that, because that's so real. Imagine we over here doing, we do the most. All of us, we do the most. But imagine how much further we would go if we're constantly healing ourselves and having someone to bounce that dialogue out. Oh, that's good. It's good.
That's good because we're talking about business a lot because we're excited, right? But Jim Carrey said it best, and I'm gonna mess up his words, but he was just like, I wish everybody had everything so they know that this ain't what it is. Like, had all the money, had all the fame. Because that inner work that Kobe is talking about, that healing, that true joy and happiness, don't come from money. Money gonna make life easier, sure. But like, if we don't do that inner work, I would hate to be rich, known, but on the inside dying, So
that's so good that you said that. Beautiful.
Is there anything else y'all want to
bringing peace. We bringing peace in 2021, y'all. Ain't let nobody steal my joy, steal my happiness. Look, nothing.
I'm zenned up and zoned out all 2021.
We counting blessings in 2021. Because like, just looking around, just sometimes you just be like, wow. You just look at where you been, where you come from, what you've been through. You look at where you at, and yeah, it's not where you want to be, but you just like, wow, I have all of this. I've achieved all these things. Like, you just still have to count your blessings, y'all. And that includes the people that are around you, the people that are in your life, making sure that we really, just let the people who are in our lives know that they matter, and spending that time with them, and, really appreciating everything that we have and the things that we have. Yeah.
That's good.
Got to continue that and got to bring that into 2021.
I love that.
I love that. That's good. I mean, I don't even really know what to say, because that's so true. And I feel like I didn't write this down because I feel fake. Now I feel fake now because I didn't write this. But like at the end of the day, when we're like all flustered, frustrated, anxiety, all this stuff, fear,
right?
I feel like, even though like my relationship with God is good, it could be better, because I see sometimes that my faith is just not strong. I'm not believing in myself. I'm worrying and putting the control in my hands, when I need to know that he's always just really rode for me. Like, he always worked it out. So like, as I'm putting like, oh, I hope this goes well, or, oh, what if this happens, and stuff like that. And whether it happens or not, I know that God got my back. But I really feel like sometimes you're talking to God like, I love you, right? Like, I love you, right? Like, I'm grateful. Like, sometimes I feel like doing the bare minimum with Jesus, and that ain't right. And I just want to be able to really hone in on like a connection and build a stronger connection with God, because that's who I'm always running to. And that is my peace. That is my source of joy. And so I feel like I have to be better for him.
Definitely.
Agree. I think it's not linear, and I find myself at times I'm a trailblazer, and I immerse my whole entire being day in and day out. And then sometimes I do feel like I go on these other seasons where I'm feeling like, oh, I gotta put all this on my back, and I'm gonna get it done. But realizing that I'm most likely I'm overworking myself, and when you bringing, I think this is something I'm agreeing to. I have to bring that daily practice, and I try. I think, and this is why I feel like we being a little hard on ourselves, because God knows our heart. Like, I do acknowledge Him on a daily basis, but carving out that time on a daily basis, that consistent time on a daily basis, I would be lying if I said I did that every single day. Like, had my daily devotional and at one point in time I was doing this, but I feel like life happens in seasons. And I feel like the reason why I feel like God comes in many forms, and God wants us to spend time with the people that are around us. Maybe that's your form of communing with God. Maybe even, God is putting these ideas in us. So us acting on these ideas could be a form of even communing with God. So, I think it comes from, and this is me, just so I'm not being so hard on myself, because I can get really hard on myself, and I don't want to do that, because I don't think God wants us to beat ourselves up either. Like, I really don't. But I do think He does want us to come to Him, seek Him, and then life will be a lot easier. And I think we talked about this in many podcasts before, but I will say I am going to bring that daily practice, daily practice, at least 24 minutes, y'all. And then they don't have to be 24 consecutive minutes. They could be spread out through the day. And that's what I've been trying to do. Like, well, I don't want to say trying. That's what I've been striving to do, is give God 24 minutes, at least 1 minute for each hour in the day, to just acknowledge him, whether that's 5 minutes when I wake up. Well, I do 8 minutes, because when you snooze your alarm, Google gives you Apple give you 8 minutes before the snooze come back for some reason. I'm like, hey, that's my favorite number too. But anyway, so I try to use that little snooze moment to really immerse and think about all the things people I'm thankful for, and thank God, and just give gratitude at any point in time I can. And then I follow up throughout the day. But am I perfect? No, but I think God, he sees what we're doing, y'all. So I don't think God is mad at us. I don't think God wants to punish us. But he do wants us to seek him and acknowledge him, so that he can really bless our lives.
That's good. I think I need to hear that for real, because yeah, you're right. I do think like he does put things into our hearts, and he wants us to act on them. And I do think that is a way of communing with God, because it's like a feeling, like when you're doing something that you love, that you're in alignment with, like you just feel that joy and peace, and you just like, thank you. So I need to hear that, because I do put pressure on myself in that area. Like, I just want him to know, like, I know this is because of you. All right. Like, I know this is it. Okay. But this brings me to my next point of like what I wanted to bring into 2020.
Real quick before you go, you more than anybody I know, you always taking walks with nature. Even that is a chance to commune with God. And I feel like that's, for me, it's been super therapy. Like, since I got my dog, I'm taking walks and I'm just like thanking God and just really feeling like I'm really connecting with God. So I feel like we be being too hard on ourselves, y'all. And I be taking my dog on 45-minute walks now. Like, I'm like, hey, and I just be thanking God, just being present one with God. So I don't think there's this structured approach that we tell ourselves, like we have to sit in a room, turn all the lights, and I'm like, just be zen, like it comes in many forms. Like, even on my drive to work, if I'm just listening to praise music all the way there, I'm like, I'm giving my thanks to God. So I think we're really doing it. Just don't be too hard on yourself.
That is so good to me. Like, that is so, because you're right. You are very right. Wow. Yeah, because it doesn't have to look the way that you think it's supposed to look. What works for you? Okay, you better preach to me then. Okay. Oh, but yeah, so something I want to bring into 2021 as well is, and I know we're talking about work and being proactive and but like ease. I want to bring in ease and like flow and like, just like, I want things to come to me easily and frequently, and like good things, joyful things. I want an ease of love. I don't think like, remember that time, Kobe, when we were in Miami and we were like in the water, and like the water was just like bringing up, we were just floating with the water. We didn't have to fight with it. It was just a flow. And I just feel like flow, not force. I just want to bring in ease and flow into 2021 in all aspects of my life. Just and I think that is that goes with God, like when you have that trust, like it's a bit easier, I want ease, I want happiness and joy.
I agree.
All right, guys, if there's not anything else, let's end this podcast with our word for 2021.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I was thinking it was the title of a book, right? Or chapter. And mine is the title of a book. I don't know. I just see title of a book or something. For me, mine it's 2 words. This is my golden year.
Yes. Sounds like money to me.
Prosperity, love, God, all of that.
Oh my gosh. I know I have this question, but I do not know the answer. I want to see. I was not thinking about it. Let's see. Yo, Kobe, please come up with something, cause
Look, I'm really trying to think.
Yeah, that's funny because
I don't
while y'all think, that's how I felt about trying to come up with the one for 2020. I was having the hardest time coming up with what did I want to call 2020. But for some reason 2021 was a little easier for me. But yeah, it's gonna be a really good year, y'all. It's gonna be, I feel like I'm just talking while y'all think. So if y'all come up with something, stop me. I feel like through 2020, we just been mapping out everything. And not even 2020, since before 2020, we really been doing this thing. And now all the pieces are like coming together. Like when Tiff said had ease, like I really want things to come easily. Like I can so agree with that. I can so agree with that. But if y'all got something, just feel free to go.
I'm gonna do something a little cliche, but I really do believe that this is the truth though. I'm gonna call 2021 birth or birthing year. Right? Because we have some new things that are new projects, new things with Soul Filling, new baby, new job, so we're about to birth some new things in 2021. So I'm gonna go with that.
That's real good.
okay. So mine's gonna be okay. So this is okay. So the song by Summer Walker in which he says, "Let me try to sing." Okay, I'm not gonna try to sing. But she said, "I'm just." Wait, she said, "I'm trying to match your words with your actions. I need more satisfaction. Is you really want that action?"
Yes.
I was like, I want action. Like I really want to name it really about that action.
Really about that action. Yeah.
I love that.
So everything that we've been working for our entire lives, like 2020, this awakening year, like I'm ready. I'm about that action. I'm about the community. I'm about Soul Filling Podcast. I'm about me. I'm about y'all.
Yes.
But I wanted to come with ease.
Say that, girl. Say that again.
Claim it.
Claim it, because it can.
Okay.
Y'all. All right. Y'all, what time is it? It's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. Y'all, this is your first time tuning in on the Soul Filling Podcast. We always end our podcast with a positive affirmation. So what the heck is an affirmation? An affirmation is a statement that you are using to transform your life. Either you're transforming your life for the good or you transform your life for the not so good. Even in the Bible, it states, let the weak say, I am strong. So on those days when you feeling weak and down and out, sick and tired, feel like you over it, you can't do it, throwing in the towel, don't affirm negative things over your life. Instead, speak uplifting things, empowering things that's going to get you out your situation. Like I always overcome this. I get better and better every day. I'm learning so much from this. And watch how your life just transform for the best. It is 3 of us, and I'm affirming that there are millions, billions, trillions of y'all out there tuned in. And we are going to go ahead and end this thing off with our positive affirmations. So who wants to go first?
I'm ready. I am transforming my mind, body, soul, spirit for new opportunities and blessings.
Can I have
Okay.
two questions?
Yeah.
I am grateful that my family and friends are healthy and have peace of mind. Number two is love, prosperity, peace comes to me easily, frequently, and in all kinds of ways.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback. I am taking action immediately, and that action is reaping abundant results easily.
Yes. Okay, guys. Now, look, let's finish off 2020 strong. We have it in us. And we're going to go into 2021 with clear vision. So, guys, write out your plans, create a vision board, create systems, soulmates. This is our year. All right, let's get it. We're proud of you. And to continue this journey with us, follow us on social media at Soul Filling Podcast everywhere. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's SOUL space FILLING podcast. And if you are listening to us again, on Spotify, Google Play, YouTube to see our faces, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. Please subscribe, comment if you have any questions, DM us. Please share this on Instagram, first of all. And then, but most importantly, what we need you to do, if you don't do anything else, is to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating, and write something soulful and sweet, because that really helps us get up in the rankings so more people can get their soul fed. All right, guys.
Yes.
All the call to actions I have for you guys. We will talk to you next week. Love you.
Hey, until next time, soulmates. Bye. We love y'all.